afternoon, children. How are we? We are doing great. Okay. Now, Mrs. Aki has something to show you on this chart. Now, I have my praying mantis here. You can see it. I have my worm. That's my F-worm. I have my beetle. I have my grasshopper. I have my cricket, my butterfly, and the bees. All of these animals or insects or pests that I have mentioned, where do you think we can find them all? We can find them on the farmland. Now that will take us to the topic of today. My subject this afternoon is prevocational studies, and the topic is useful and harmful farm pests and animals. Now, what is a pest? A pest is any animal or plant that has a harmful effect on human, their food, and their living condition. They have a harmful effect on human, their food, and their living condition. And let me explain. Let's take the mosquito for an example. If a mosquito perches on you and bites you, what sickness do you think that mosquito will give to you? Definitely, you know it is malaria. So the infection the pest has infected you with is malaria, and it has caused something harmful in your body system. Let's go to the next line. We have the useful farm pests and animals. On the farmland, we have some useful farm pests and animals, and we call these farm pests and animals farmers' friends. Why do we call them farmers' friends? They are called farmers' friends because they help the farmer to do some things they cannot do on their own on the farmland. Now, what are useful farm pests and animals? They are pests and animals that help to keep other dangerous pests and animals away from the farmland. They help them to keep all of these animals, these harmful farm pests and animals, away from the farmland. Now we have some of the examples of these useful farm pests and animals. I have the ladybirds, the praying mantis, as I showed to you there. I have the ground beetles. I have the butterflies, the bees, the earthworms, the birds, and the cicadas, and so on. These are some of the examples of the useful farm pests and animals. Now let's look at the importance of the farm pests and animals. The first one is bees and butterflies help in pollinating flowers. They help in pollinating flowers, thereby making the flowers to grow very well. Now the second one is they help to scare away harmful pests and animals. Some animals, like your rats, will come to the farmland and do what? And begin to eat your crops. But if the bird is there, the bird will come and peck on the rat, and the rat will not be able to stay on that farmland. So you can see that it helps to scare away some of the harmful pests and animals. Now the third one is bats keep the mosquito population down and feed on other tiny insects. There are some insects that are down the ground that bats can go in there and peck on the ground and begin to eat some of these tiny insects that could have affected the crops from growing properly. Okay, now let's go to the harmful farm pests and animals. What are harmful farm pests and animals? Harmful farm pests and animals are those pests and animals that causes damage to livestock and crops. They cause damages to our livestock like your cow, your ram, your chicken, and so on. They are all livestock. And your crops like your pumpkin leaves, your wheat leaves, and all of that. So they causes damages to this crop, thereby not making them to grow as they ought to. Now let's look at some of the examples of these harmful farm pests and animals. The first one I have here is the locust, the Japanese beetle, the mammon cricket, the corn root worm, the corralado potato, the flea beetle, the grasshoppers, and the cutworms. Now we'll look at some of these I have mentioned, some of the harmful pests and animals I have mentioned here. Now I have here, you can see my grasshopper, you can see the beetle, you can see here that this animal, this pest, if it comes close to your farm, you will discover that it will eat up some of your vegetables. Now I also have the cricket too. I mentioned the cricket. So these are some of the examples of the harmful farm pests and animals on the charts there. Now let's go to how do we control these harmful farm pests and animals? What are the ways to bring down whatever damage they will cause to our livestock and our plants? Now the first one I have here is by spraying chemicals like herbicides and insecticides to kill or keep them away from the farm area. We need to spray our chemicals like our herbicides and our insecticide to make them far away from the farm area. The second one is by weeding out the unwanted plants. We all know that weeds are unwanted plants. If you give weed space, weed will take over the whole farm area. So we need to do what? We need to weed them, weed the unwanted plants out in order to give the plants that are useful enough space for them to grow. Now the third one is by using traps for animals like your rats. You place your trap at strategic points in the farmyard for them to be able to do what? Keep the rat at a point or even kill the rat, including your squirrels. All of these animals, they can hit up your crop and at the end you'll not be able to harvest what you ought to. Okay, now let's see our rats. We have our rats here. Look at the rats. We need to set trap for them in order to kill them or keep them away from the farmland. We also have our squirrel. So these are some of the animals on the chart. Okay, so that is all we have on the topic useful farm pests and harmful farm pests and animals. If you have any question, you can send me your question. Do have a wonderful day. Thank you.